Hi, my name is Brad Larson, and I'm here to give you a presentation on character. But I'm also here to tell you that character is the most important leadership trait. And with character, it's like an umbrella. There's so many other things underneath it, and that can integrate into good character and into bad character. And so, starting off, we have honesty. A good leader is honest and very trustworthy. For me personally, when I go into a job and I start a new leadership role, or I have a new leader, I expect myself and my leader to always tell me the truth and always be honest with me, and to always want to push me and them in the right direction. As soon as that faith is broken with a lost promise, or with a false accusation, or something along those lines, then that trust is broken, and that honesty is not there anymore. The honest person that you thought you were trusting in is not there anymore. It's hard to gain that back, and that leads me into integrity. Integrity is really important character. It's kind of like with the military, and so with the Army, the Navy SEALs, the Marines, National Guard, they hold high integrity standards. They won't stoop low for things that are bottom feeder. And so when you're a leader, you can't just take the low-hanging fruit. You got to strive for higher goals. You got to hold yourself to high standards, and make sure your team has that as well, because as soon as you stoop to those low branches to take that easy hanging fruit and get out of there, so is your team. And so are the other leaders around you, and that leads into not trusting you, because you're not going to lead them into the right place of where they need to be successful. And that leads me into respect. A respected leader has so much integrity, so much honesty, and people respect what they do, and they respect them so much that they do what they're told without asking questions, because of that respect they have for the leader. And that's a highly attractive trait of a leader, and that leads into good character. A good character leads into respect, which leads me into loyalty. A loyal leader makes the company better, because they're going to stick around for those hard times. They're going to stick around for the great times, and they're going to have great character qualities because of it. Because a loyal leader is going to lead everyone in the direction that they need to go. And so, bringing me into my next presentation slide, character is fundamental. And what I mean by that is character is the fundamental trait of a good leader. And it's a good person too. But as far as what we have, again, with trust, people will not follow you if you're not trustworthy. And that's just given. Because as soon as you break somebody's trust, then it's very hard to gain that back. I know for me personally, I was in a situation where one of my leaders broke my trust, and I wasn't able to get that back, because it was just lie after lie, I felt like. And even if they could have been telling the truth, I didn't believe it because of that fact. And that leads me into keeping promises and being brave. If you don't keep promises as a leader, nobody's gonna want to listen to you. Nobody's gonna want to trust what you say. They're just gonna shrug it off their shoulder. Because let's say I'm the leader and I promise you a promotion, or I promise you a raise, and I don't give that to you, and I just keep saying, well, do this better, and then you might get it. Then you're more likely to walk away from the company. And then how many leaders do I have? 0. And how many followers do I have? 0, because I'm not part of the company anymore, because I don't have any to work for me, and nobody wants to work with me. And that, bringing my point into being brave. A brave leader is one that's okay to say no to things that are not okay. So being that leader that sees that other leader not keeping those promises, going and taking a stand, or taking a knee to it if they need to make it so that they actually keep their promise and follow through, is huge. And so, bringing me into consequences of weak character, we touched on it briefly, but untrustworthiness is a big consequence if you don't have good character. Because if people can sense when you don't have good character, and you're not a good person. And so if you bring that to the table right off the bat, they're gonna not trust you right off the get-go. And if you keep doing things throughout your time at a company, or time on a team, or time or in a relationship, and you keep doing different things to break people's trust, like little white lies, or not doing things that you said you were going to do, then that's going to make you very untrustworthy. And that brings me to being unvalued. And if you don't have good character, you're going to be unvalued in the company, because there isn't any value that you're bringing. You're not making the company better, you're making it worse. So why would they keep anyone at a company if they're not doing anything to help it? And that brings me into being incompetent. And if you have bad character, you kind of get that incompetency right off the get. People don't want to give you any tasks to do it because they don't think you can do it. And that relates to if you don't think anyone can do that job either. Like, let's say you have your team below you and you don't think any of them can do it because you're not holding them to that high standard, you're not putting their trust into them, then they're not going to trust you, and they're not going to put that faith into you because you're not giving it to them. And that leads me into confidence. Confidence is key, and it's especially true in leadership. You have to be confident to be able to have good character. You got to hold yourself high with that confidence and know that you're going to do the task at hand and do it well. That leads me to my last point of complacency. As a leader with good character, you're not complacent. You're there, and your head is strong and your mind is open, and you're never going to stop. You're not going to complain about the drops, and let's say the drops in the stock market that you're trying to sell stocks in, or the fast food line that's a mile long and you're the leader trying to put everyone through the rush. You're not going to complain about it. You're going to bring your team up and say, we can do this. And that resembles great character. Exempts a fantastic leader. And so going into, there are other traits. Organization is a leadership quality that is desired, because someone with organizational skills can keep things in place and keep things moving at a good flow. Same as determination. When someone has determination, they're going to push through. They're going to have that drive to always keep going and always try to be a good leader, try to always be the best salesman, whatever position that they're in. But then that also leads into communication. When a leader has a great communication, they're really good at presenting themselves to others. They're really good at telling their team what needs to be done. But even with all these other traits, there's many more out there. Character still is the number one trait in leadership that is desired. And that's because all of these traits can be connected to good character. Good character, again, is that umbrella. There's so many things that fit inside of it, and good characteristics have these in it. And so that brings me into a quote I wanted to share with you guys. So, leadership is a potent combination of strategy and character, but if you must be without one, be without strategy, by General H. Norman Schwarzkopf. And I want to share that quote with you just because of how straightforward it is, and how it relates to the topic that we're talking about. Like, character, if you have to be without any one of those traits that I talked about, be without them, and never leave your character on the floor, because then you'll leave your integrity, you'll leave your respect, and you'll leave your honesty, and all of those other things. And so with that, I'd like to thank you guys so much for your time. Again, my name is Brad Larson, and I had a really good time presenting to you guys. Have a good night.